You know, it occurred to me the other day when I was talking to my son about doing some fishing. We were pointing at reels and we were just putting reels on rods, and he said, "What's this?" It's a great question. What is this switch? It's the anti-reverse switch, the back reel switch. And I said, "It's the back reel switch." And he's like, "What is back reeling?" Well, he's never really had to do it, and I think back reeling is something that really came about when drags on reels weren't as good, and anglers, especially when faced with a situation of having a good fish boat side, would be forced to flip this switch and back reel to give that fish line and the ability to get further from the boat without literally breaking the line, snapping a hook, losing the fish, so on and so forth. These days, the reels are so good, the technology and the drag systems, just exquisite, but I still think back reeling has a place, and here's why. In many situations, especially jig fishing, I got a jig on here, we're pitching up, maybe it's shallow cover, maybe even live bait rigging, where we go ahead and we really want to put a good hook to the fish. You really need to provide some extra oomph to set that hook. You need that drag cranked down. Otherwise, it's literally so good it slips ever so slightly, right? Because it's a very smooth operating drag. But maybe when that same fish comes boat side after I've got my drag tightened, it's too tight. And then I'd either have to be forced to adjust the drag on the fly, which with a spinning reel and a moving fish can be a little awkward. That's a perfect time and a perfect situation to go ahead, boop, flip that back reel switch, give that fish a little bit of line. If it's head shaking on the surface, it's frantically thrashing boat side. Those are situations where a back reel, in my mind, is still a really valuable way to make sure that you keep a fish buttoned up. And it takes some practice over time to make sure you don't over back reel, give it too much slack, and lose the fish. But go ahead, the next time you're jig fishing or live bait rigging, tighten up that drag maybe a little more than you otherwise would, get a good hook set, and be ready to back reel if you need to catch that fish boat side.